yeah, when I go home to my dad and my stepmom, often we end up talking about problems in the country and politics and things that are going wrong. And often it'll come back to like, oh, we need better personal financial education. My stepmom was kind of like to me, well, when are you going to do something about it? I'm like, that's a great question. Good call out. Okay. And so I'd sort of been toying with this idea of putting together a big content bank of lessons and just saying, hey, if you want them, you can come and jump into this folder and you can learn them. And then I thought, people are going to it's going to be too hard. And so I gave it to a group of people and said, hey, look at this. And, half of them came back and were like, mate, this is mint. And, a couple of them were like, oh, look, I started looking, but, there's too much in there. And then, the 30% is like, oh, yeah, I'll get to it. I insert excuse here. And I thought, this isn't going to work if I just try and give all of this information as a Google Drive or something and be like, help yourself. So I thought, I like storytelling. I like writing. I find it therapeutic. I wonder if I could write something each week and send out an email. And so then people are not only learning every Friday, but then they are thinking about money every Friday. And I think that's part of the problem, is that we don't think about our finances enough to get a reminder of okay, what am I doing in the right frame? Usually we're thinking about finances of, I spent too much. Oh shit, I spent more on the weekend than I was going to. Now I'm going to work and I, spent $200 on Jaeger bombs and Zambuca shots or something, and I hadn't even planned to, and I'm still dusty from Saturday, and you're regretting it, and you're thinking about money in a negative way. So I wanted to flip it, where people are thinking, okay, every week I'm learning, I'm thinking about my finances, and I'm starting to build a financial position, which is what businesses do, and they build out their assets minus their liabilities. If you go and borrow from the bank, they're going to say, what's your net position? And you're going to say, oh, I've got no idea what you're talking about. And that's basically, what assets do you have? What liabilities and loans and debts do you have? And then that gives you a net position as such. And businesses that report on the NZX and that report to shareholders, they do this quarterly, monthly, annually. And I think, well, if it's good enough for business, it's good enough for people. So I'm trying to reteach what businesses are doing that are succeeding, and be like, if they're doing it, then why aren't we doing it? And then we can basically mirror some of those things that are working for them and get ourselves further down the path.